Last time we saw after meeting the girlfriend's mother. My mother-in-law likes me a lot and now she is dressing me up for the Karwa Chauth. Now story continues. The next thing I know is I was getting married dressed in a heavy bridal lehenga. My girlfriend, who was now my husband, was tying Mangalsutra around my neck. The very next moment, she was kissing me passionately and full on the lips, and I opened my eyes to find myself on a flower-decorated bed and my husband with me. My glass bangles are breaking one after the other under my husband's tight grip. Suddenly, we were in a heavily decorated house. Guests and gifts all around me. I am again dressed in bridal clothes. And my lap is filled with gifts. Women are giving me blessings that I be blessed with a son. It was my baby shower. My mother-in-law took my face in her hands and kissed me. That's when I woke up. I was up and shy and embarrassed, all at the same time. My mother-in-law stood in front of me wondering why I was smiling while sleeping. And I was obviously shy to tell her that I just saw my future. She was asking me to get up all this while, but I was somewhere in the middle of the dream in the real world. All I could finally hear her say while she had me up on my feet was, "Happy first Karwa Chauth to my lovely daughter-in-law. Let's get you ready, beautiful." She kissed me on my forehead and pushed me inside the bathroom, handing me a set of satin innerwear in the same red as my sari. Wait, is it already my sari? I stepped out in a while wearing the innerwears only. And I had my towel wrapped around my waist. The cloth was still in my hands. Mother-in-law laughed. I see my daughter-in-law still can't hook her innerwear by herself. Before I could say anything, she came closer and showed me the trick. Tie it towards the front, then twist it around and then pull the straps over your shoulders. Then she produced a plate which had 2 big dough balls of wheat flour. Mother-in-law smirked and I went pink. She took the dough balls, carefully inserted them in each of my innerwear cups, and it was an awkward moment and I closed my eyes. It suddenly felt like I was actually a girl and my own mother-in-law was laughing at me. She gave me a gentle slap, so I opened my eyes. I realized she was holding a red blouse that had its hooks in the back and therefore had to be worn from the front. With each step, I wanted to back off, but I was in a kind of hypnotism. I put my arms in the sleeves that were of almost 3/4 length. I turned around and my mother-in-law closed the hooks. And just when she announced it was done, I realized that it fit like it was stitched for me. Only, no odd bulges, no wrinkles, nothing. I also realized that the neck was deep cut and was revealing just the top shoulder. My mother-in-law then used some makeup to match the color of my dough to my actual skin color. A smile of satisfaction came on her lips. She then looked at my towel and pulled it, shouting, "You would wet your innerwear already. I have only one in this color." Though I suddenly tried to hide with my hands. Mother-in-law laughed. "I really think you are enjoying it even if you keep denying. But relax. Nothing I haven't seen before. Besides, it's time for your petticoat." She produced the red inner skirt and I stepped in as she brought it up to my waist but then dropped it a little to uncover my belly button. She then tied it as tight as possible and I almost screamed with discomfort. I hope my real daughter was half as girly as you. She has been such a tomboy. Thanks to her father. I missed having a daughter all these years. But thanks to the only good choice my daughter has ever made, I won't miss having a daughter by my side anymore. I promise I will love and pamper you more than her." It seemed she was now in an unstoppable flow of emotions and she kept on dressing me as she talked. My nails had been filed the previous night only. so she just removed the old paint and painted them afresh in deep red. As my hands were drying, she took out what looked like 2 cones. I almost pulled my leg back as I saw what it was, but she held it tight and gave me a stern look. She started putting mehandi on my legs and feet. By the time she was done with that, my hands had dried and she now started putting mehandi on my hands and arms. On the legs, she had made the design starting from my knees to the toes, and on the arms from the fingertips to the elbows. Now I was not even in the position to move. Before I knew, mother-in-law took a few pictures on her phone saying, "To make sure that my daughter-in-law obeys me." She then started making up my face and I obviously couldn't move an inch. She trimmed my eyebrows and gave them a proper arch. Thick coat of eyeliner with a long stroke to enhance the eyes. Mascara to bring out my lashes that are otherwise weirdly long for a guy. Eyeshadow in dual tones of gold and pink. Since my skin is kind of pale, she gave me a thick makeup. My cheekbones were now pronounced and beaming pink. My lips were made too creamy with 3 generous coats of pink lipstick and with a protective coat of wax. It was literally becoming an effort to keep my lips apart as they felt like joined with glue. She suddenly stepped back and picked up her phone from a table. I thought time for more pictures. But she looked at the screen, smiled and turned it towards me. I was shocked. She had actually put it there with the camera on and it was recording my complete transformation. She then smiled and clicked more pictures. But to my surprise, this time she uploaded a few. I shouted, almost cried. She started laughing instead and dabbed my eyes to avoid any damage to the makeup. That's when she showed me her phone. She had actually cropped the pictures and none of them had my complete face. Somewhere just the arms or the hands covering the face, feet, lips, eyes and more. But nowhere my complete face, thankfully. She only uploaded them to flaunt her mehandi and makeup skills. But what scared me was the fact that she had already received comments like, "Wow, looks like a bride in the making. Do post the full pictures once she is ready." She ignored my nervousness completely and now she casually pulled out a piercing gun from the drawer. All she had to do to make me comply was saying, "You know I have the pictures. And my daughter does too. Right? So I can let the world know that this was your fantasy deep down and we just helped. You live it and express it, or you can let me do what I am doing and I promise this will stay between us." I kept staring at her scared. She then raised the gun and I just closed my eyes. I was now trying so damn hard to control and ignore my actual emotions that I didn't even flinch when the piercing gun punched my earlobes. What came next was even more painful, but I had kind of determined not to scream. She cleaned my ears with an antiseptic, and without waiting, handed me heavy golden hoops and asked me to wear them myself. I bit my lips, clutched my teeth, but I didn't let a tear flow down my cheeks or a scream escape my throat as I struggled and felt the pain. None of the girls in the house had seen me till now. They were not even up as it was still early morning and they were late risers. Mother-in-law now checked my nose. Now I was very scared. Even ready to scream to keep her from doing it. Not because of the upcoming pain but the embarrassment of hiding the nose piercing later out in the world. I could explain the ears as it's a normal thing for guys these days but not the nose. I was at the edge of the chair. Ready to run or scream or whatever it takes. But then came her dialogue. "The door is locked. You can't run. Scream and the girls will be here any time. And seeing you have come so far, they might want to do a lot of other things." Saying this, She teased my belly button with the piercing gun. And then she gave me a choice. Okay, let's do one thing. I will not pierce your nose. But then I will pierce your navel. Well, I think you are slim, have a beautiful belly button. It will look cuter there. And she showed me a belly ring that had a pendant sort of a thing hanging from it with words, Princess. She continued. Plus then I also can't guarantee not posting the final pictures online. I mean, you know, I am a beautician and I think your pictures will really boost my business. Right now most of my clients are women. Maybe I start receiving some trans customers too. So yes, let's go with the navel piercing. I agree. What happened next? We will see in the next part. So stay tuned to the upcoming part of this series. Also please like and subscribe to my channel to get the latest update to my upcoming stories and series.